What's up guys, Phoenix here. This video we're going to be talking about the newest evolution of an ace monster from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime, and that is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Now, this is meant to be a direct evolution to Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, which is the ace monster of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 anime. Now, I like and watch all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Japanese animes. Don't really care too much for the English dubs, English versions, because 4Kids has this bad habit of ruining everything they put their hands on, but that's neither here nor there. The Japanese versions are still pretty tight, though, because they're meant for more mature audiences. So, that's, like I said, that's neither here nor there. But this card is meant to be just, an evolution on Clear Wing, which is used by that character in the show. And I believe the episode that it debuts in, it either came out this past weekend or it comes out this coming weekend. I'm not entirely sure. I need to catch up on the show, basically. I'm a couple episodes behind. But this card is actually just really good. It does have some restrictions, but it is very, very good for what it is. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. It's a wind dragon-type synchro monster with an effect, clearly. It's level 8 with 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense, so its core stats are pretty damn solid. It requires one tuner plus one or more non-tuner synchro monsters, and that is important to note. Your non-tuners have to be synchros, so that puts it into the ranks of things like Quasar and stuff like that that require synchro monsters to be the non-tuner materials. But its effects are, once returned during either player's turn, when another monster's effect activates, you can negate that activation, and if you do, destroy it. And if you do that, this card gains attack equal to that destroyed monster's original attack until the end of this turn. So it has to destroy the monster physically for it to gain the attack, but it can negate monster effects from anywhere. So if it's negating something like a Maxi, a hand trap, negating something from grave like a clown, something like that, it can't physically destroy the card because you cannot destroy cards in graveyard because hand traps activate and go to grave as cost, things like that. So it will not gain the attack boost from that. But if it destroys monsters on field, then it will gain that attack boost. And its second effect is during damage calculation. When this card battles an opponent's level 5 or higher monster, this card gains attack equal to that monster's current attack until or during this damage calculation only. So it's not until end of damage basically until end of damage calculation. So those are both two really good effects. Now, the thing that causes this card to have a restriction, and is what a lot of people are not necessarily liking about this card, is the fact that it requires non-tuner synchro monsters. But there are several decks that this can be circumvented in. Obviously, number one pick off of my mind is Dragonides. Vajrayana and Phalanx make this card, and that just happens to be the most convenient thing in the world, and especially since this card is a dragon, it negates effects. Basically, this card can be floated with red med back to your field multiple times. There's a lot of different things that make this card very good in my eyes for that deck, and I can't wait to test with this as soon as Shining Victories becomes closer to our release date, because obviously we don't get this card for at least another 5 months. So there is that to consider, but then other decks that can use this are decks like Yang Zing. A single Jiaotu can make this via like using Jiaotu, discarding, getting a Tauti and Tauti and Chiwen out of your deck, the level 1 tuner, and then you either make Yazi with the Jiaotu and the Tauti, and then you make this with the Yazi and the Chiwen left over, or you can make any level 6 synchro in the form of like Goyo or Blackwing Nothung, something like that, while leaving the Jiaotu on the field and then synchro into this. So there are definitely options there. There are many other decks that have the potential to summon this card, but it does just absolutely limit it because you have to use synchros, and that's what a lot of people aren't necessarily liking about this card. But you could just summon this card straight with Ultimaya Zulkin. That is something else that not a lot of people are considering as well. So there is like you have open access to this card in any deck that you can make Ultimaya Zulkin in, so like Hieradex or any sort of Ultimaya quick draw variant. There's a lot of different things that can be utilized to summon this card, and its effect is extremely good. It's another defensive card in the form of monster effects are what drive the current game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. Monster effects are what have been driving modern Yu-Gi-Oh! For the last 3 or 4 years, basically. And this card negates monster effects, and also this card just happens to be amazing against Cosmo, because it's already 3,000, so it already crashes with Dark Destroyer in the worst case scenario. But Dark Destroyer, Forerunner, all those untargetables that you would have trouble getting over in certain decks, those are level 5 or higher, so this gains the attack it would need to run over them. This card will always be able to get over Cosmo ships and deal huge amounts of damage in that method, in that way. So there's that to consider as well. Overall, I really like this card, and I really like the fact that there's finally another busted level 8 Synchro that's being released, and that's kind of a trend that's been happening recently, is that like you'll get one really busted Synchro every like 4 or 5 months. Like we got Cypher and Lord Omega not too long ago, and that card is very good, but it fits a certain niche that only certain decks can really supply, and this is another one of those cards that fills a niche spot but is very good at doing that, and it does it very well. And honestly, I could see this card seeing play in certain decks when it comes out. Any deck that can support it should be playing it, because like it's a generic effect negator, and that's just really valuable. And the fact that it has a 3000 body is also just massive, and it gets bigger when it attacks bigger things. Like, that is very, very, very good. But I want to know what you guys think about this card in the comments down below. Anything that I might have missed, because I didn't really discuss this card as much in detail and in depth as I probably could have or would have liked to. But regardless, I like the comments on my videos to be a hive mind where things that I don't address or other people have not addressed get, jotted down for anyone who wants to see it, basically. But anyway, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that nonsense you normally do. Links are in the description of both my Facebook pages. Go check those out. That's what they're there for. If you want to connect with me, whatever, access me with those, basically. Click an ad if you have not. I'd greatly appreciate it. It helps me make money, and there's no reason to lie to you guys about that. If you have an ad block enabled, do me a quick favor, a quick solid, if you will. Remove your ad block, refresh the video, click an ad or two, however many you want to do, then put the ad block back on when you're done. It helps me out more than you could ever understand, and I would be greatly appreciative to you if that is something you could do for me and take the few seconds out of your day that it takes to do that, and it supports me more than you could ever know. I can't really stress that enough without just rambling on and on. But anyway, that is all for this video. There's some other cards I want to discuss from Shining Victories that have been announced, but those will be in different videos. If there are any other cards you want me to discuss that, might be from different sources, definitely leave those suggestions in the comments as well. But other than that, that is all for this video, and as always, guys, take care.